Hello, we have a question that reads, make P the subject of the relation 3T minus PQ is equal to 2 into bracket P plus L. When you look at the question critically, you will realize that we have two P's in the equation. The first P, which is the second term, at the left hand side of the equation, and the second P is in the first term at the right hand side in the bracket. Because the second P is covered with the bracket, before we move it, we have to remove the bracket. So the first thing we're going to do to this equation is to remove the bracket through expansion. Let us see how we go about this. So we maintain the first two terms at the left hand side, and then we expand the second term. 2 times P will give us 2P, and then 2 times L will give us 2L. Now that the second P is no more clothed with the bracket, we can now group like terms by putting all the P terms at the left hand side. So let's see how we go about this. Negative PQ and 2P will be at the left hand side. 3T and 2L will be at the right hand side of the equation. So we shall have negative PQ minus 2P is equal to 2L minus 3T. In the first term, we maintain the minus PQ at the left hand side of the equation. For the second term, we move the third term 2P, which was positive, to cross the equal to sign to the left side to become negative 2P. For the third term, we maintain the 2L, which is at the right hand side. And the fourth term, we move the 3T, which was the first term, to the right hand side to subtract. Now that we've successfully grouped the two P's together, the next thing we're going to do is to factorize negative P from the two terms, because negative 2P is common in the two terms at the left hand side of the equation. So let's see how we go about this. We put a negative P outside the bracket, and then we write the remaining things inside the bracket. In the first term, Q is remaining, and in the second term, P is what is left. Then we repeat everything at the right hand side of the equation. The two terms have been reduced to one single term through factorization. Now we have a single term with negative P outside the bracket, P plus Q inside the bracket. We're going to keep negative P and then move the Q plus 2, which is in the bracket, to the right hand side. Remember, the Q plus 2, which is in the bracket, is multiplying the negative P. So when it moves to the right side, it is going to divide 2L minus 3T. So let's see how we go about this. So we keep the negative P at the left hand side, Q plus 2 we move to the right hand side, and we keep the 2L minus 3T at the right hand side. So we shall have minus P is equal to 2L minus 3T all over Q plus 2. Now remember that the Q plus 2 in the bracket was multiplying the negative P. So when it moves to the right side, it's going to divide everything at the right hand side. And the things that were at the right hand side were 2L minus 3T. We've made negative p the subject, but the question says we should make p the subject of the equation. So what we're going to do is to move the negative away from the p so that p will exist alone. And we can do this by multiplying through every single term by negative 1. So negative 1 will multiply the first term, negative p. Then negative 1 will multiply the second term, which is 2l minus 3t all over q plus 2. So when negative 1 multiplies negative p, we shall have p. And when negative 1 multiplies the second term, we shall have minus 2l plus 3t all over q plus 2. Now that p is existing alone, we have successfully made p the subject of the relation. Congratulations, having come this far. I always knew you can do it. Join me again in the next section and keep believing in yourself.